Hello all, my name is Vanessa Pettis and I'm actually recording this time. I thought I was recording, I was just rambling talking to myself for a few minutes, but it looks like my time is set down there. So, I have my little one, she looks like she's going back to sleep. She's sitting right here beside me. Might let her say hey in a minute, but I'm going to take advantage of the peace and quiet while I can. And so, my name is Vanessa Pettis. This is my third video in what is a series that I don't have a title for quite yet, but what I'm doing is twofold. On one end, I'm trying to do a lot of vlogging, which I think is going to go great for my personality. Although I do like journaling, this just feels so much lighter and easier to just, talk out loud. So yeah, on a personal note, this is a lot of vlogging for me, but on a professional note, this is me expanding my coaching business and just giving people an insight to who I truly am as a person and as a mom and all that good stuff. So I am a mom of 4. I have a stepdaughter. We have a stepdaughter. We also have, and then there's 3 more girls. So a house full of girls, 12-year-old, 9-year-old, 3.5-year-old, and a newborn 2 months. So that's what we got going on right now. Like I said, on a professional level, I am in the higher education industry. That's what I've been in for the most part. Love, my passion is counseling and coaching people of all ages, and that's easier said than done when it comes to practicing what I preach. A lot of people in their whatever profession they have, it's interesting how you can have a skill set that can face outward and how to be a great doctor or psychologist or whatever that role is to other people, but when it comes to taking a dose of your own medicine, it's interesting. So that's what I'm learning to do. And so I also am a fitness instructor. Absolutely love dancing and teaching Zumba and dance mix, all that good stuff. So that's a little bit about me. The topic of this video, which these topics and these videos are just coming spontaneously, and that is what's given me the time to even do this and not to feel so much pressure around it, because I knew the timing was right, but I was like, how am I going to fit all of this into the busyness of life that is already going on? And so this is how I'm doing it. Unfiltered, like I said, resources, just using what I have for now. So I appreciate you for just, accepting me as I am right now along this journey. And so topic for tonight is parenting tips and hacks from someone who does have 3 that I birthed, but a stepdaughter that we don't get a ton of time with, but that should change. It is changing right now, which I'm happy to celebrate. And so if I had to rank them in rank order, I would say, interestingly enough, my first suggestion would be to lower your expectations as a parent. And that's easier said than done. I think a lot of us can have high aspirations in general. And of course, when you think about bringing a human being and raising a human being and how much influence you can have on someone's life as their mom or dad or caretaker, that's pretty amazing. And that, does give a lot of us, a desire to want to do everything perfectly. But perfectionism often does not get us the deeper results we want. So on the surface level, we might be checking off some boxes and getting some things done, but on a deeper level, perfectionism and having those high standards are likely going to lead to some unwanted emotions and suppress things. And so that's what I would say. Lower your expectations. And I'm having to practice what I preach so much right now with 4, because you just can't get up and go and just do certain things the same way. And plus there's a gap. My oldest one that I physically birthed, I was pregnant with her almost 10 years ago, and so there's a big gap between them. And so, yeah, things change over time. So anywho, no matter whether it's your first, second, third, whatever it is for you, lower your expectations. And what I mean by that is just realize that the act of raising a child is so special. And if you're able to provide a safe environment, able to feed them, clothe them, guide them generally towards a positive life, hey, that is a lot in itself. So to feel like you have to check off all those other boxes, it's just added pressure. And I think sometimes actually gets in the way of what we're actually trying to do. So for me, it's on a day-to-day basis. Like, all the things that I want to get done in a day, now it's like, hey, I got to be realistic. Like, if I got work that got to get done, babies that got to get taken care of, doctor's appointments, all of that, we got to be realistic on a day-to-day basis when it comes to what we can get done. That's one. That's, I would say, my top one is just to take some of that pressure off when it comes to all of the things you're trying to achieve as a parent. Another one is flexibility. I think structure. I feel like as a parent, you're taught structure, structure, structure. Get your kids on a routine. Do this, do that. Hey, I think it works great for a lot of parents, but for me, in my experience, what I've seen with a lot of other parents, you gotta find a middle ground. You gotta have some structure with certain things, and you definitely gotta have some flexibility. And so for me, I think I've actually struggled with being a little too flexible, and now I'm learning to integrate some of that structure. But what I mean is, I don't think I got to give examples. I think you should take that and run with it however it feels, however your intuition kind of receives that. Have structure where you need structure, but learn to be flexible when possible and when it makes sense, so that you're not driving yourself crazy and being stubborn, which is what I'm pretty much struggling with. I believe in astrology, and I'm a Taurus for sure, and so I've been having to learn to loosen up a little bit. But again, finding that middle ground, because you can sometimes be too flexible, and kids do need a little bit of that routine as well. Another hack I would say is to have fun, which again, with my personality, I feel like it's with my personality and being someone who as a child wasn't always, like the most playful. This is something I'm still struggling with, but I think as parents, we are supposed to have fun. It is stressful and it's challenging, but the more we can actually be like our kids and kind of be carefree, and be goofy, which not all of us are naturally goofy, but I think we can learn to be goofy and to be silly, and that speaking their language, and I think it goes a long way with kids. Another thing I would say, big one, especially for me. You'll know in my videos I will likely bring up the fact that I'm an introvert and an empath often. Introvert meaning that although I do enjoy being social does not give me a boost of energy in the long run. Like a couple days after being super social, it drains me. And that's the difference between extroverts and introverts. It's not that we don't enjoy being social, it's that instead of getting that boost of energy like extroverts get, we actually get drained. And so because of that, and because I feel like I'm an empath, which means I can sense and feel other people's emotions and sometimes take it on me, that is a lot. That's a lot to deal with. And so now that I'm been a mom for a while now, but being a mother of 4 and being in a relationship and, being a friend and being a daughter and being a cousin and all those different roles we have, it's intense. But I've been learning to care for myself and to make sure I get space and time to myself and to ask for help. And in the times when I do that really well, ask for help, plan ahead, when it comes to just getting my downtime, man, it makes a big difference. So do not feel guilty about that. I think that's the biggest things. One of the biggest things that parents do is we feel guilty about caring for ourselves. And, we have to do that. We have to get our mental space and have to, create a barrier and boundaries, to a certain extent. So that's a big one for me. Last one I'll say, because a lot of these videos I want to be somewhat short and sweet, but short and sweet is relative. Short and sweet could be a few minutes to some people, 10 to 20 minutes for other people. So last thing I would say off the top of the dome, again, these are unfiltered. What is the last thing I would say? Oh, just from a physiological 2 more things. From a physiological perspective, I know a lot of us already know about how important breath is, but even though we know this, again, when we're getting busy, we forget the basics of life. We have to do some deep breathing. We have to take those deep breaths to counteract that fight or flight response. So when we are busy, especially as parents, and we're thinking about our kids, and we're getting our to-do list done, and boom, 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 we're going here, going there, 9 times out of 10, we're forgetting to do that. We're forgetting to take a deep breath. And so that is really important. That is just Oh, okay. That is a phone that I will go cut off. I probably lost some people. That's okay. Again, unfiltered, not playing these videos, just trying to take a minute when I have it, especially when there's some peace and quiet, which is not too often in a given day. But I'm going to lose probably what I was saying. I said something. It's losing me. I could not remember what it was, but it's okay. Maybe it wasn't meant for me to elaborate on that too much. And I thought there was another one, but maybe not. Again, I got mommy brain going on. I look well rested, but sleep is still coming and going little by little. I'm actually pumping exclusively, so that's pretty time consuming. Just as much as breastfeeding is, they're both pretty time consuming. So I trust. Here is an example of me going with the flow. The type A in me wants to remember exactly what I was about to say, and I had one more point, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to trust that what I said hopefully made a difference for whomever is able to see it, and go from there. And so I will wrap it up, and I will say I appreciate you again for listening. Again, this is one of many, many more videos to come that have, serve the purpose of allowing me to vlog and share personal journey, and again, from a professional perspective, it allows me to connect with more of you. And so if you would like to connect with me, my links to my social media sites are linked below: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. You can also email me at vanessatpettis@gmail.com. You also could comment below. I've been figuring about YouTube itself. I love watching tons of stuff on YouTube. So definitely comment here and hit me up on here if that works for you. The book is available on Amazon.com. It's called This is Life, This is Love. It is my perspective on how you can integrate psychological techniques, holistic health techniques, spiritual techniques. And when I mean spiritual, I don't mean religious. I mean no matter what you believe in, whether you believe in God or not, there's some spiritual practices that we all can kind of benefit from. Integrating all these practices for the purpose of getting what you want out of life, through law of attraction and all of that good stuff. And yeah, it's a short and sweet book. It gets to the point, but it gives you some substance, and it also gives you some examples. And if you want to know more about my background and kind of what inspired me to write the book, and my professional experience, all of that, you can find it on LinkedIn. That's below as well. So I will stop there. I would love to hear from some of you. And again, thank you for listening. Alrighty. Y'all have a good night, good day, whatever's going on, whatever time it is. Enjoy it. Bye-bye.